Welcome to another Ram House video podcast. I'm Tony Clark, the Marketing Director. Today I had the privilege of interviewing Pastor Andrew Whaley, the pastor at Raleigh Court Presbyterian Church. He spoke about his life, his vision, and his mission as a board member for Ram House. He also talked a little bit about the history that Raleigh Court Presbyterian Church has with Ram House. Also, he spoke about how he sees Ram House making a difference in our local community. I hope that you enjoy this interview. Tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do for a living.
I am the senior minister at Raleigh Court Presbyterian Church in the Grandin Village area. I've been here for a little over 6 years. We're a congregation of about 700 souls that sits right at a threshold between sort of suburban family life and urban poverty. Within 1 mile of our facility, you'll find homes in the $700,000 or $800,000 range, and you'll find people who are in systemic poverty and are living at the brink or in the midst of homelessness. So we have a unique congregation where we try to both nurture disciples in the grace and love of Jesus Christ and help people dealing with questions around education, family, marriage, children, biblical literacy, theological views around how we understand our world, while also addressing major issues around racial justice or poverty relief or environmental issues in our community. And the position of our church, where it is here in the Raleigh Court neighborhood, gives us the opportunity to sort of carry out that whole gospel message.
I just wanted to talk about Raleigh Court Presbyterian and how you guys became a part of Ram House. Just a little bit about the history, if you don't mind.
Our involvement predates me by quite a ways. The narrative I've been told is that several churches, ours was one of them, many decades ago, decided to join together to help the establishment of Ram House in order to provide emergency services and other needs to those suffering in poverty that was more effective collectively than individual congregational efforts would be alone. So our church in the more recent past has had a regular team of cooks who go and help with the daily lunches, as well as supporting the Ram House through annual financial donations, whether special offerings or whether it's through the annual budget of the church. And so I serve on the board. I was asked to serve on the board in my second year in Roanoke, and have served since that time, helping to strengthen the work that RAM does in the city.
As a board member, Pastor Whaley, what would you like your legacy to be in the position as a board member that you're currently in?
Well, I'll tell you the grand dream, and then I'll tell you the realistic goal. The grand dream would be that my legacy as a board member was that I was part of an organization that no longer needed to exist because there was no longer poverty in Roanoke. That through public policy, through economic development, through neighborhood work, through law enforcement, through drug rehabilitation, Roanoke no longer had a poverty class. And no one needed help with rent assistance, and nobody needed a meal in the middle of the day, and nobody needed a place to wash their clothes, and nobody needed a warm place to be on a cold winter day. That'd be my goal. I would hope my legacy would be that he was part of the group that eliminated poverty in Roanoke, and they dissolved RAM because no one needed its services anymore. That's my vision. That's my hope. The realist in me, however, says that humans are too broken and sinful to ever actually realize such a grand dream this side of eternity. And so what I would hope to do is to help strengthen RAM as an organization that brings that holistic change to individual lives. The work that we're doing right now on locating a new facility, on strengthening our services in the areas of mental health, in providing a staff that collaborates and works well together, and in enhancing our public image in the community are ways that we'll be able to handle that legacy so that we're able to lead more people into lives of wholeness who are currently in places of loss.
Thank you, Pastor Whaley. And the next question I've got for you is, tell me how you see Ram House making a difference on the ground in October of 2021 of this year. How are we making a difference?
People need opportunities in their lives for things to be different than where they are right now. But they can't do that when they're hungry, when their clothes are dirty, when their phone's battery is dead, when they feel as though they have no value in the world. And Ram's mission to see the need and meet the need daily, I think very succinctly describes its purpose. Whether that's helping somebody not have to go into homelessness because they got their power bill covered or their rent assistance provided. Somebody had a chance to wash their clothes or charge their phone so that they could, look for a job. Whether it's simply somebody like Heather Wilson in the kitchen, knowing somebody's favorite dessert and sneaking them an extra portion so they know that they matter to someone when most people pay them no attention every single day. That's making a difference. That's giving somebody a sense of hope. And, as a minister of the gospel, I deal in hope, not what is, but what could be possible. And RAM is a place where hope is shared and encouraged and grown. And I think that happens in the daily hands-on interactions between staff and clients and volunteers, providing new opportunities for people to see a life beyond where they currently are. But you can't get there if you're lacking the daily necessities of life right now. And RAM is helping to meet those necessities for folks.
Pastor Whaley, can you talk about the Ram House recent changes and the opportunities that lie ahead?
Absolutely. I have been on the board for 5 years, and I have never been more excited about the opportunity that we have as an organization as we do right now. Our new director, Melissa Woodson, brings a certain level of expertise as well as a deep enthusiasm and a willingness to go after every connection in Roanoke to strengthen the reputation of Ram House and the work of our organization throughout the Valley. We have the opportunity to find a facility that is closer to partner organizations that we can work alongside to bring holistic change, as well as strengthening our opportunities through mental health concerns and working with people in that arena, as well as daily concerns such as food and clothing and a warm place to be during the day. I'm really excited about the team that's at Ram House right now, too. I serve on the personnel committee. I've really enjoyed getting to know the staff and believe that they have a real sense of collegiality and a real desire to collaborate and serve well together. And so I really think that there's a great opportunity for what we're able to do. We're going to be launching this capital campaign soon. I feel really confident that it can be successful and that we will be able to bring this vision to reality and that it's going to make lasting change in Roanoke. And for those in our community who find themselves on the margins. As somebody who serves in the name of Jesus Christ, I'm concerned with those on the margins and not just serving them to make ourselves feel better, which is always the great temptation of Christians, but to serve in ways that actually bring wholeness, value, dignity, and life to those folks. I think the opportunities before us with a new facility, with partner organizations, with expanding our services, makes it less about, well, what am I doing that makes me feel good? And more about what's actually changing lives and bringing wholeness to the people of our city, those who are made in God's image and those who I believe are those for whom Christ also died. And so I want to see that wholeness and that fullness come alive around us. And there's amazing opportunities ahead for RAM, and I'm excited to be part of it.
Tell me what you love to do apart from being a pastor and a board member at Ram House.
We've lived in Roanoke for 6 years. We have loved living in the Valley. I was a runner before we moved here, and Roanoke gives you a great opportunity to run on the greenways or even in the neighborhoods. So I love being able to be outside a lot of the months of the year for exercise. I also love to play golf. So it's fun to get out and do that from time to time. My wife and I have 3 kids, so we do a lot of things with them, whether that's hiking or rec sports or scouts or ballet. We also love to explore the different restaurants of the city. That was a little more doable before the pandemic. But we've loved living in Roanoke and seeing those chances to engage with the culture that's here. So we keep a pretty busy schedule between family activities and rec activities that we're involved with.
Thank you for joining us for another Ram House video podcast. I'd also like to thank Pastor Andrew Whaley for his time and his interview today. Stay tuned for more looks behind the scenes at Ram House and our future interviews. Until next time.